throughout my time here, my family has been repetitively denied. I understand Travis Bloom is an idiot. I understand that. Fully understand that. He holds a good heart.
Fabricating fictitious government you ever seen.
My little brother used to run to Mother and say, "Mom, BB hit me." BB was my sister. Used to say, "BB hit me." Mom would say, "Well, my lovely young man, where are the marks to prove such?" Well, my mom, show me the marks. He could not show any marks. Mother would say, "I can't tell where the marks are." True story.
And the evidence is going to show that law enforcement tampered with evidence to meet their such high burden of proof.
While I'm waiting for this, did you, whether it's true or not, believe that Mr. Randolph had slept with your wife?
I wouldn't care.
You wouldn't have cared?
No.
Did you believe he had slept with your wife?
No.
Did you believe he slept with your mother-in-law?
Probably did. Everybody has.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Said
Everybody has.
Oh, okay.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I don't know why it opened up a new stream on YouTube, so let me just go in and see if anyone is stuck in the other one, because it chose not to open the one I had planned, but just open up a fresh new one. So I need to delete that one. YouTube is being an asshole today. So everything is, as always, wonderful in the world of El Pecado. But I think we're here, I think we're queer, and I think I have a hole through to Rumble, yes. I have a live stream up on the YouTubes, yes. And everything is great. How is everyone doing? And pop up chat so I can pull that up on screen and put that on live chat so I can see everything. It's almost like I've done it before. And we are back looking at the weird moose. But I hope everyone is doing great. Everyone got some sleep. Everyone... Yes, I got my haircut yesterday, a day too late, but a day late, $1 short, but still my hair is fly, as the young kids call it. I am the most pro of all pro YouTube streamers. I only make mistake almost every stream. And hey, that gives me room to grow, and without room to grow, you'll stagnate. So that's a good thing. Hello, Annie from the UK. From the UK, Annie. Annie from the UK. From the UK, Annie. Good morning, Jen. The one on the left is an elk. We don't have elks in Denmark, but none of them looks like any elk I have ever seen pictures of. I am on fleek. Well, I have all day to correspond, but right now, because I fucked up, I have to correspond where I am. So, yeah. But yesterday we had witnesses for the technical stuff about her telephone and her car, and then we had more personal friends talking about their bad relationship, and we had that au pair talking about how she banged some other dude. We still haven't heard any defense theory to how in the world she crawled inside the tank, welded it shut, and put a note on the outside saying, "Do not use." Because when everything comes to anything, it'll be the biggest problem. How the hell did she end up inside the tank, welded shut? And I haven't heard any part of a third-party culprit defense or anything, so it's really hard to see where the defense are trying to go. Maybe they're just giving him we have to put on a defense, and that's the defense he's going to get, because in some cases, you cannot defend the accused party with more than just kind of like the pate of defenses where you're just smearing something out there to try and illuminate that, hey, we did our job because he is indefensible. The questions normally, when you listen to the defense, you will try. You can hear, okay, they're going to go for this angle. But in this case, all they have done is trying to say, well, the phone wasn't. Could it have been? And did she bang some other dude? That's not much of a defense. We confirmed Dale can carry her. We knew that because he said, "I'm gonna." I picked her up and put her on the. Yeah. That fertilizer tank is just a pesky problem. Kind of like that case we watched where he stood up and turned around and said, "I'm sorry, kids, I killed your mom," or for what I've done. That was weird. Here's question: was there really not that said not to use that tank? Oh, was there really a note that said not to use that tank? Yes, we saw that in the opening statements. There was like a manila note saying nozzle is defective or something like that. Please don't fill it up or something like that. That was presented during opening statements. That'll come in later. And his fingerprints will be on it. Dale can carry her. Dale will. Dales was pissed off she spent money. Am I missing anything else here? We haven't really heard that he's pissed off she spent money, because both of them apparently had kind of their own hidden economy from each other. And even if they say one of her affair partners did it, how would that person have been on Dale's property, cutting open, then rewelding a giant tank without being noticed? Again, I'm thinking we're just getting, we're putting on a defense. Come on now, defense. Not really a good old defense for anything. Because when you have shit, it's really, really hard to make anything out of it other than just, well, it's shit. I always say I can speak English very well, but find der Wörter nicht so schnell. Welche Wörter bist schnell? Spreche ich zu schnell? Das hoffe ich nicht. Aber wo ich lebe in Dänemark, wir sprechen echt schnell. So, vielleicht ich spreche Englisch in the same way. I can't say that in German. Oh, it's a joke. Oh. Well, now I got to speak a little Germans. What was he planning on doing with her in the tank, thinking she would magically disappear? Celestial Force, there is this thing that's called time. Time will make things disappear. He most likely thought, if I just stuck her in there, the smell won't come out and no one will notice it because it's in a fertilizer barn. Fertilizers have a really strong chemical odor. So maybe they think, hey, it just smells like shit in here because it's fertilizer. And they wouldn't notice that. Then at some point when everything had died down, he would get rid of the fertilizer tank, and she would also have been decomposing. I'm not sure we want to watch the autopsy photos of a body that has been lying in fumes from fertilizer for 4 years. Hey, Inspire. The defense has no defense. They're just treading water because legally he gets one if pleads not guilty. Well, the defense, and I say this all the time because I saw someone on the Twitch thread saying, well, the defense is just doing the defense stuff. No, the defense is doing their job. And we should all hope that everyone gets a super great, amazing defense, because if they do that, the chance of appeals are small. One of the things that came out of that Faust trial down in Atlanta is some criticism of the defense that they were writing too much on, well, we did enough on Cross. They didn't really bring in, they could have brought in a DNA expert, talked about how the DNA couldn't have been his and why the DNA tests are weird. They didn't do much, and that's going to bite them in the ass now because he got found guilty in 12 counts, and they will have to appeal it. We always wish the defense is stellar because it eliminates the chance for appeals. It eliminates the chance that families have to go through this over and over and over again. So I'm always rooting for the defense because it is the state that has all the powers. But they are also really important to protect his rights. And if his rights are protected, then he doesn't have these weird things like Alex Murdoch, who now most likely will get a new trial because Betty Boop fucked up. Hey, East Coast Drifter. Hey, Hyacinth. The judge bound the defense from bringing a lot in. Yes, she did that. The judge wasn't great in that case either. That's why we need umpires, not biased judges. It's the same problem. This will now open up a lot for appeal, unless the whole system down there is so crooked that they will say, no, there's no reason for appeal. That's why it's so... One of the things when we watch all of the sidebars that came out of the Karen Reed case now, it's so important that you make your objections. It's so important that you tell everyone when you think there's a mistake, because they have to be preserved for an appeal. Because if you don't object, you are okay what happened in the courtroom. But if you object and the judge overrule it, it's still on the books that, hey, we think this ruling is wrong. What is the defense? There is none discernible so far. So far, the defense has been, she was kind of a cunt, right? She wasn't as good as everyone says she is, right? She had her own flaws, right? And of course, everyone is a flawed person. They had, I would say the second daughter who testified, they had her looking kind of shifty because she clearly didn't want to admit that her mom had a tendency to run away from home. But again, we all know those couples who will fight, and then they'll make up, and then they'll fight, and then they'll make up. And they will tell you they have the greatest relationship. And you think, why the hell don't you get divorced? But they love that energy. So maybe this is one of those relationships. They were together for 15 years. She left almost every month for a couple of days. They have a weird dynamic that we don't understand, but just be honest about it. Hey, Midwest Granny. You're trying to eat my apple. You can eat every apple you want. But no, that's what I'm saying. We are on, I think I'm right with day 5. And we haven't seen any clear line in the defense so far. Normally, we have seen the only thing they said in opening statements are the timeline doesn't fit. What does that mean? So late again today, M-Spire, you know how it is. Don't say anything. Marissa will come in and yell at you and say, "Oh, you have ADHD because you just can't wait." And it's 15 minutes late. You are allowed to leave school now when the teacher hasn't shown up for 15 minutes. They had other cases. Yeah, but the jury is still sitting there getting their $6 a day. Enjoy your grandson, Rianne, and pinch his chubby cheeks. I think this case will be the banana case. What happened to the bananas? They look great for banana muffins, banana bread, and they just disappeared. I want to know what happened to the bananas as well, and the pepperoni pizza. Anime, why do I need to stop thinking? Anime is so... Oh, I'm a Rumble mod, so I can be just as mean as the YouTube mods. No, you would try being nice and not yell at me all the time like my YouTube mods. Probably threw them in the trash like a heathen. Maybe that young woman we saw yesterday, she could have baked some muffins for the kid. Will Wolfenbacher eat the bananas? No, they were in the middle of the table, and he's in a wheelchair, so he couldn't have reached them. And no, I don't know why he's in a wheelchair. I don't know how much Michigan pays their jurors, but yes, in some counties you get $6 a day for jury duty. Oh, and Rumble is acting up again. Well, as long as hopefully it'll work. But thank you, Anime. Hey, Sherry B. Sherry, baby. Ba, 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 ba. La, 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 la. But yeah, as always, I was thinking, oh, should I start 10 minutes before like I normally do? No. There will be enough time to yada, because this courtroom is less punctual than my mods. Who was it who had done jury duty in Michigan? They must know how much they pay you. Hey Dodo and Smarter Harry. Should I be afraid that Zach and I basically make the same joke? You shouldn't be afraid, but you should be seeking mental counseling, is what I would say. See, this is what my mods do to me. Anime making fun of me saying I stopped thinking. Giving me the Sue bird. Oh, $45 a day plus mileage. Oh, so they don't care. They're getting a good paycheck out of this one. But yesterday, they had to be in. We don't know if they had been canceled, but they had to be there at 10:30 yesterday. Had a massive power outage, and court started at 1:30 or something like that, and ended at 4:30. Today they were told we're gonna start at 9, so to be here a little before 9, and now they have waited half an hour again. I hope they get coffee or something. I get $100 a day. Well, that's the good thing with this courtroom. You won't be late for this.
Good morning. We are back on the record in file 24-21841-FC, People of State of Michigan versus Dale Warner. Have just had a brief conversation with the attorneys in chambers.
Thank you so much, Genuine. Because you and this channel are my favorite. Thanks for all you do, Baker Mods, and fine people in chat. Thank you so much, Genuine. You are way too kind. And I agree with some of the statements, except the parts about the mods and the chat. But other than that, I fully agree. But thank you so much. It's way too much to pay stupid little old me.
My understanding that at this point
And
there
I
are
need
some
to
additional
boost this audio.
exhibits that the parties have stipulated to in terms of foundation and entry into evidence.
That's correct, Your Honor. We would be stipulating to Exhibit 259 and 261.
That's correct, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay.
We learned that the victim had an affair and that all of that, he was so mean to her, was kind of two-sided. She was mean to him as well. Other than that, her phone was at the address, her car was at the address. And both of them had like this side thing where they would buy stuff and hide it from each other. So again, the state trying to paint him as a monster and the defense trying to say, well, she wasn't she wasn't coming out smelling like roses either.
Is there anything else we need to do outside the presence of the jury then?
Your Honor, I believe we would also stipulate to releasing Giada Rowe from her subpoena.
No objection. Thank you.
Okay, so she will be released from that subpoena, and exhibits 259 and 261 will be admitted. Are we ready to bring the jury back then?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Let's get going. Oh yeah, by the way, buy OnStar and give them all of your information because they're just here to help you.
These error affirms, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty for perjury.
Yes, sir.
You can have a seat.
Can you please state your full name and spell it for the record?
My name is Daniel Drewer, D-A-N-I-E-L-D-R-E-W-Y-O-R.
Where are you employed?
I'm employed by the Michigan Department of State Police.
And what's your title?
I'm currently a detective lieutenant.
How long have you been a detective lieutenant?
For approximately 15 months.
And what was your title prior to that?
Prior to that, I was a detective sergeant.
Okay, and how long were you a detective sergeant prior?
I was a detective sergeant for 3 or 4 years.
How long have you worked for the Michigan State Police in total?
We just eclipsed 12 years, ma'am.
At some point in time, did you become involved in this case?
Yes.
When was that?
That was in March of 2022.
And what was your involvement at that time?
I was a detective sergeant for the State Police Monroe Post, which covers Monroe and Lenawee counties, and the Sheriff's Department Columbia County Sheriff's Department had contacted the Post and asked for some assistance with this investigation. So I was assigned to assist the detective from the county.
Just you that assisted, or were there other agencies?
In addition to asking us for help, the FBI was also involved.
At some point in time, did you completely take over the investigation?
Yes, that would have been August of the same year.
And when you took over the investigation, what was the first thing you did?
There were a number of administrative things that need to be completed, primarily taking all the current evidence and documents from the Sheriff's Department, inventorying them and entering them into our report writing system and property.
Okay, and did you do that?
Yes.
And what types of evidence did you take from the Sheriff's Department?
There was a volume of documents, video, surveillance video, body cam video. There was some physical evidence, some things that have been sent to the lab for miscellaneous testing, and electronic media.
when you took over the case and took that evidence, did you start from the beginning, or what was your goal?
Kind of a combination. So we conducted a complete review of everything that we took from the Sheriff's Department. So that was reviewing all the evidence, all the reports, all the videos, but then also starting our own investigation from the beginning.
And after reviewing at least a portion of that evidence, did you interview the defendant?
Yes.
Do you recall when that was?
That was in December of 22.
Where was that at?
That was at the Michigan State Police Monroe Post.
And would you say approximately the first 45 minutes or so was just building some rapport with the defendant?
Yes. Yeah, practically the first 45 minutes were not necessarily case specific, more just introducing myself to Mr. Warner.
Okay. Now we're going to get into the actual details of your investigation at a later point in time, next week maybe. So right now I just want to focus on kind of the interview you did. So when you, after that first 45 minutes, what was the first topic of discussion that you had with the defendant?
That would be the weekend of April 24 and April 25, 2021, which is the weekend that Dee Warner disappeared.
So after the first 45 minutes, did you get some general background information from the defendant, such as the businesses and relationships and finances before you got into the weekend?
Yes.
Okay. And at this time, we'll play the first portion of Exhibit 221.
Yay, more body cam.
Okay. And what do you think should happen to someone that did do something there?
I'm not so sure that someone did anything to her. I'm still thinking she just left. Because someone.
I will try and boost the audio. It might just make all the hissing louder, but I'll try and boost it and see if we can hear anything, because I don't know how interrogation rooms have to have the worst audio in every state. I think it's court mandated by Supreme Court. It has to be shit audio for every trial.
She obviously had a probably good plan.
Okay.
She left with someone, but they did something whatever they did. I don't. Anyone's done.
Okay. Can you, kind of in your own words, can you describe Dee to me as a person?
The most beautiful woman in the world.
And how about her personality? What can you talk about her as a person?
She can be hot and cold.
What do you mean by that?
She can be sweet and seductive and just the nicest person in the world. And she can be safe in 2 seconds.
How would you describe your marriage overall?
I would describe our marriage as a normal marriage. We had a lot of arguments and disagreements, but the business is something we were running. We were going to disagree on some things.
Mm-hmm.
And Dee had a hard time leaving business in the office. She'd bring it home. If you didn't agree with her way of thinking, then she'd keep on you until she convinced you what she was saying was right.
Okay. And how would you describe kind of a normal argument with her? What is that like? The two of you and her.
A normal argument?
Yeah, what's a typical argument like for you two?
We'd start out, she would say, I accuse her of doing something. Or if I catch her, they catch her doing something. She told me she was going to go pick something up, and she didn't do it, but she went shopping. I say, how can you get this part? I had to have it. Well, I was busy, and I had to go do this, and by the end of the argument, she had it completely so far away from the part, it'd be my fault, that walkway goes.
You were apologizing at the end?
Yes, I apologize. She's a master of manipulating her own.
Are you sure I'm married to my wife? What's going on here? I got the same treatment.
That's what I've been divorced for 13. I think they're all sisters in the end. Well, that was my biggest thing when we were both home the counselor. You know, after the fact, you know, she left and told most actors one day, no, she left because you were getting better. You were understanding how to talk to her when you had an argument. And you have to, you know, say, okay, honey, and before you get, I would be in the middle of something that she would argue. He says, yeah, you have to stop. You have to sit down and say, okay, what's bothering you? Let's talk about it. And I would never do that until close to before she left. And that's when I was finally, boom, the light goes on. This is what I gotta do. Men from Mars, women from Venus or whatever. Mm-hmm. You know, I have to sit down and talk to her. As soon as I started doing that, she didn't know how to argue anymore. It's like, oh shit, I'm screwed. Because I sat down, okay, Dee, tell me what you're doing, what you need to do, and how we can fix it. And she didn't know anything. And she just get pissed and take off and walk away or leave.
How often would that happen?
Oh, it was once or twice a week. We had an argument over something.
Okay.
I mean, I shouldn't say an argument. We disagreed on how to do things, or you know, where this truck is going, or who this guy's going to get done. It was always a disagreement on things that are getting done for the business.
Okay. And how often would she? To my understanding, it wasn't uncommon for her to leave for a night and go stay somewhere. How often would that happen?
Come on. Come on. Come on. Don't do this.
I don't know.
If you had to guess, how many times a month?
Once or twice.
Okay. And that was consistent?
And it wouldn't be, you know, she would get pissed off and leave, and she'd just go to town go shopping for the day and won't answer her phone. Or if she's really pissed off, she'd take off and go over to Zach's house and stay for a day or two, or you didn't know. I mean, you never knew how long before she'd be back.
Okay.
So that's why I never was worried until someone invited, and it was wrong because it was just took off and come back.
And before, I have a few questions for you. And again, before I ask these, some of these are just reports we have from other people. So me asking it does not mean that I think it's true. I want you to understand that, okay? And I mean that sincerely. So we have reports from different people regarding there being violence in your household historically between you and Dee. Can you describe that to us?
The filling hole in a fertilizer tank is roughly this big because you put a hose on it and then you fill it up with liquid fertilizer. But in this case, the end was cut off and then crudely welded on again. So the filling hole has no influence in this case.
This, you know, having a high-leveled conversation back and forth with each other.
Can you describe what you mean by high-leveled?
Just hollering at each other. You know, he would be saying that Mom was screaming, hollering, Tucker looks at me, and I'd be hollering back at her. There was never any violence.
And how often would those types of discussions occur?
No, a couple times around here, just having to depend on if the truck got rolled over that day, or if somebody smashed something up, or phone went wrong in the business.
I see, okay. So what would you say if the person that had given us that information regarding violence in the household was here, what would you say to them?
You know, he's got to know that hearsay from what someone else told him.
Okay. What can you tell us specifically about the device that was installed on Dee's car on her Escalade? Some people refer to it as a tracking device. What can you tell us about that? Okay, so we had received information that there was a device installed in the Escalade and that she had discovered it and it resulted in an argument between the two of you.
There's never anything, I never had an argument over the Escalade device in that.
Okay, do you know anything about the device in general that she felt was tracking her or something on a vehicle? Is that?
She thought I put one in the Hummer.
Okay, can you tell us a little about that?
I put a diagnostic device you plug into it to see how it's running. Okay. There's no run or change in it. And she figured it was a tracking device. I could tell where she was at.
Okay. Well, why do you think she would feel that way?
She was paranoid. She didn't want anyone to know where she was at, what she was doing. I mean, this is me finding out after the fact.
Okay.
And the Escalade had an OnStar on it, so I could tell where the Escalade was at anytime, every time.
Okay.
I did the last Escalade, not the first one, just the second one.
Okay. And what about there being rumors of her being involved with other men? What would you say to that?
At the time when she left, I would say no, but now I really don't know how to answer that question.
Okay. You've had a lot of time to think about it. Do you think it was possible? Do you think it was true?
I am leaning towards that it was true, but in my mind, I still only think that my wife was true to me.
Okay.
What else? I don't know, until she's here, before I can ask her in her front. I guess I want to say she's innocent until she tells me otherwise, or there's proof.
Okay. Had that been a suspicion due to the past, something you had confronted her on prior to this?
Never traded that she would be having an affair with him.
Looking back, were there any indicators that may have been the case back then?
Looking back, there was a lot of things that would make me question, like I say,
What things? Can you describe to me?
being gone for hours at a time, the vehicle being gone, I mean, not being able to account for where you've been, or not wanting to tell me where you've been.
Okay. Anything else? Okay.
I mean, this is all stuff that I found out in the last 3-4 months, you know. And a lot of it maybe is all this. There's so many rumors and so much shit going on.
I'm sure.
Like I say, I'm not going to believe any of it until she's in front of me and I can ask her.
Several people have reported instances where you would show up to where Dee was unannounced without having knowledge of your knowledge from where she was. Can you explain that to us a little bit?
That's news to me.
Okay, so I can think, correct me if I'm wrong, partner, but one specific example was she was out to lunch with someone and she had made a statement about not wanting to be around you. You're having some argument or disagreement on that specific day, and you had showed up to where that lunch was occurring.
That's completely.
Okay. And again, I'm just asking what's been reported to us. I'm not saying there's any truth to it, okay? And there's a lot of things like that it's important to hear your side, because when you're only getting one side, it makes it look horrible, right? So we want your input. Can you think of a reason why, it's obvious, but can you think of a reason why someone would say that about you?
Not good. I mean, unless she was saying something negative about me, that person.
Okay.
That's a huge thing in a high-functioning board of my personality. That's what they do.
I'm sorry, I missed that part.
My wife, I figured her diagnosis is a high-functioning board of personality. That's what they do.
Okay.
It's they put the other person down to everyone around.
Okay.
He was diagnosed with high functioning what? I have a really hard. I hear like every seventh word or something like that. Was this interview done in the years it disappears? I missed that. I think this is. I didn't hear the date this happened. Like there's no timestamp on it, so maybe we'll get it later. If I were innocent or guilty, I would never be questioned without an attorney. Nope, no way. Nee Taylor, that is why the only correct answer is I want to speak to my solicitor. Yes, even the closed caption can't fix it. Well, it's as good as it gets, and it's at 10 times boosted. So imagine being on a channel that doesn't have it boosted.
In some previous interviews and to other people, you had stated that you were not going to get divorced. But that has been a topic of discussion. Can you explain that a little bit to us?
I don't really have this topic of discussion.
Well, that was something that Dee had made sentiments and remarks to other people that was an interest of hers, and that you two had argued or discussed. I don't want to use the wrong word. Can you describe that to us a little bit?
Divorce was a word that we didn't bring up between each other because that was, we were going to counseling, we had a lot of things going on. And that was one of the things that we told each other, we're never going to say to each other's divorce, because that's not what either one of us wanted as the end result. And once you say the word divorce, then you just start throwing it. It's like a word that you can't take back. I say, I hate you. Well, that's in your mind now. You can never take that back. You know, we're going to counseling. If you say, I want a divorce, just because you're pissed, it's in that person's mind now forever.
Yeah.
So you can't get it out. There's certain things that you don't want to cross the line and say because you can't ever take them back. And that's one of those things that Dee and I had between each other. We're never going to tell each other that. Invitation, yeah, it came out once in a while. But, you know, with the counselor, you can't, there's words that you can't say because you can't take them back. And that's the understanding where we're at now.
Okay. A couple of things I wrote the business, I'm sorry. Can you kind of briefly describe the business entities you currently have? I know there's a few different ones. So I know you have essentially the farming business, and you've got buyback, which owns some property, and you do some agricultural work and spraying, and then there's a trucking company. Can you just describe kind of the empire in its entirety?
There was Warren Farms LLC. It was our farm agency. Warren Farms Services LLC was the spraying and fertilizer custom application business. There is buyback, which is the entity that has all the property in it. Cedar Creek Express is the company that owns all of the trucks and trailers for the trucking company. The trucking company leased all of the trucks and trailers from Cedar Creek.
I'm trying to get an understanding of what I know you have a lot of things, essentially, that's all. So, and I wasn't clear on, we were familiar with buyback, and then I know that the other company owned trucks, and I'm not in the farming, so I couldn't tell you.
Yes, one of the DEW investments, that's the biggest, you know, they keep claiming that I sold all the assets of DEW investments. DEW investments didn't own anything other than the Cadillac from Taxpayer. That's one of the things they're on.
All right, I see.
Can I just interject for 1 second? You should tell them about your warring firms and your DBA. Because that is something that has become, I think, for the conservative, an issue now, because they were never aware that Dale Warner.
I've always had Dale Warner DBA warring farms from the beginning.
Okay.
And I still have, well, the last year and the previous year, everything is farmed in my DBA now. The LLCs are not being used. They're all still there. Everything's built in my personal.
May I ask why?
I'm not going to deal with conservative. I'm not going to work my ass off 20 hours a day to pay him.
Okay.
And as far as I'm concerned, the companies are all dead without me. So there's nothing there.
As far as, I'll say day-to-day responsibilities, for lack of a better term, can you describe kind of your responsibilities and Dee's responsibilities when it came to business?
He ran the office. I ran the office.
Okay.
This guy, I think he's a police officer. We haven't seen him in court yet.
His responsibility was to make sure all bills and payments were made and everybody's paid. Mine was to make sure all the work got done. Everybody got what they made, trucks are on the road, things got planted, things got sprayed. I mean, that was my job.
Okay. So I understand Dee had expressed the interest in being done with the trucking business. Can you talk us a little about that? Describe it to us.
I was confused on what she was talking about on being done with the trucking business, and I understand it clearly now. She took so much money out of the company that there was no way to survive.
Can you kind of tell us what she had told you back then about being done, so to speak?
She just kept telling me that the trucking, we're done, the trucking company, we're done. So she kept saying, I didn't understand what the hell she was talking about. And I never knew until a couple months ago where we figured out 6 months after she left what she was talking about. Because I had no clue what she was talking about. She was saying we're done. And we got a couple notices that, delinquent taxes are going to garnish your wages, take money out. So tell me about take your money out of the account. They're going to do that. The council started questioning. I go, what is this? Don't worry. It's just you missed a check. It didn't get to them in time. We got to eat. Well, hindsight looking back, when you get one of these, it's more than just a missed check. Just flat out not paid. So they were scrambling around, pay that one that was delinquent at that moment, so that you'd be off the collection list again. And I'm thinking everything's fine and dandy. Well, it wasn't fine and dandy. Her and Zach had been taking and scamming so much money out of the accounts. There was a godsend when she got the PPP money, because that gave another shot in the arm that they could cover that up for another fucking 5-6 months. And it was down to the point where it couldn't be covered up anymore.
I see. Okay.
And
So what I'm getting he's saying now is that she defrauded the company, and she got the PPP loan, and that covered up her taking money out of the accounts. But he said that there was a $50,000 to $100,000 in a safe. He must have known that money was there. Then why didn't he say, "Dee, this is company money. It needs to be on the books. We have bills to pay." I can't take my Google income and just take it out and hide it in a shoebox. My accountant still has to know it, because I will be taxed on it. This is again, and everyone knew she was stashing money everywhere. So even, let's say she was kind of like a kleptomaniac or something who just, I'm gonna stuff so I always have money. You just go around and take all that money and put it in the fucking bank. And you talk to the bank and say, well, Dee cannot take out over X amount of dollars, or else she will have to have Dale or the business manager co-sign for it. It's am I getting this wrong? Him knowing about the money being in the house seems like a really stupid excuse now that he says, well, she was defrauding our company.
I was going to find it, because they were going to have to come clean. That was how trucking companies done it. How am I going to deal with it? How am I going to tell Dale this? I mean, she was in my daughter's soccer game when she called and told me, we're all done. 10 minutes ago, everything was fine. The day before, we just had pizza in the field, everything was great. What has changed? What's happened?
Tell us more about that conversation.
Which one?
When she was at the soccer game, you called her.
She called me, it was 9 or 10 in the morning. She was at the soccer game, and I says, Jaron and I think Brian was there, we were tied on the field in Tipton. And my phone rings, and I said, I gotta take this, it's Dee. Because I figured she's calling to tell me how the house was doing at the soccer game. And she was very upset, and she says, we're all done, I got into a tie, we're all done. She hung up. That's it. And she would answer my calls all day long. So I'm in complete limbo thinking, what the hell is going on?
Okay. We'll come back. I have a couple other questions for you.
This was well known. She wasn't stashing money only like the last month. She's been doing this forever. This has been going on forever. So, how real it was this time, because she was leaving him all the time as well. I would think that maybe the card house was beginning to fall apart because both of them were siphoning money out of it. And maybe she said, okay, let's sell the shit. I don't want to be in this anymore. And he said, no, I built an empire and I am the empire builder and that's my personality. So I would rather kill her, get the life insurance and then move on. I could see that more as a reason than she was leaving him, because everyone knew she was stashing the cash. Everyone knew she was having it in purses, in pockets, in safes. So it was not something new. And he knew she was stashing money. So I don't think it was because, oh, she's finally leaving him. That's why she had this. And again, 50 to 100,000 in a safe in their bedroom. That's not really hiding it. He had the access code to it.
We're in business. What year?
Yeah, I think he's the kind of guy who is his business, who is this magnet. And we see it with so many, especially like family-owned businesses or built from scratch businesses, that it becomes so important to preserve the legacy, and they will go to the end of the earth, and then they will just end up effing everything up.
Did things go negative with the vegetable farm? Is that in...
It was the year after we bought it. We went through, I think 14 is when we bought it, so it was like 15.
Okay.
And a lot of things went bad there because when we purchased it, we were also supposed to, people we purchased from told us they had contracts for potatoes and different things for the next year. And they didn't. So we were all the stuff with some contracts.
Okay. And then talk to us a little about your finances leading that. What did that look like?
Financing when we left.
Yeah, your overall, the company and your business finances.
Oh, business finances were in turmoil. I mean, we lost, oh God, close to probably $20 million there. And we put hundreds of thousands of dollars in redoing buildings and redoing all stuff, a lot of equipment for up there. Because we couldn't pay it. We were rolling the John Deere equipment, which you get a new piece every year. And since we couldn't do that in our dealership here in Tecumseh, we were rolling 30 pieces every year. So he would get 30 pieces and it had just very few hours on it, and he could sell it. A competitive edge over everybody else around. Well, he was getting, the economy was slowing down, things were slowing down. The pieces weren't selling, his lots were getting fuller and fuller, and my machinery doing trading every year. We did this 7 years, so he's got 210 pieces of equipment that he's got in the last 7 years from us. We can't sell it. Well, the deal was, I pay the rental payment, or the lease, whatever you call it. He pays the no-no.
So it does sound like their empire was crumbling. It was built on nothing. Again, we got new equipment every year, and then we just sold it on the next year, and now the economy slowed down, and it's just one of those pump and dump schemes. Let's just everything looks good, but in the books, it's just bleeding money everywhere.
Well, they talked me into signing a note with Deere, just a 1-year note. So every year with Deere, I'm supposed to pay that piece off. Well, I don't pay it off. The dealership pays it off. I pay the rental. Well, they had so much machinery, they didn't want to pay the notes off. So Dale stuck having to pay all these notes off. $5 million I'm supposed to come up with. Well, I can't. So now all my notes are due. $1 million.
Oh, don't tell me I got the spinny spin today. Come on.
They paid themselves off. They're pretty clear. They bounced 35 payroll checks. They bounced a couple hundred other checks that we sent off to all these meetings. So where do you think that left me?
Don't do this.
I see. We had heard that notes were being called back, but we didn't know that those pieces of information, how it specifically played out.
Yeah, the roll program that we had set up with Deere, and it was my own fault. I should have never let them talk me into doing it, but I was paying a quarter of the amount I would pay in a normal market. I mean, combine payment would be $50,000. I was paying 20. Same $30,000, who wouldn't do that?
Yeah.
And that was the same on all these pieces. Well, the dealership, instead of them saying, hey, we can't take these in that trade, let's keep these pieces another year, we'll roll them back in and go through it, they didn't do that. They just didn't pay that either.
Just let you hold it back again.
Yeah, we hold it back. Okay. But a lot of it was the manager at the dealership was not telling the owner, Paul Baker, what was going on. Because Paul Baker and I have a great relationship right now. I mean, I own $5-6 million right now, with him. So if he didn't know what was going on, none of this other shit would happen probably. But this all goes back to communication. There was a failure in communication. I assumed the dealership's manager was doing his job, and he wasn't. He was covering his own ass. So that threw me to the woods. And by the time me and Paul Baker got together and talked
And coming out of the financially,
what I had to do to survive is we sold off all the property we had in Manchester. The Sears Farms, I wrote a check and bought that. I had to sell another 300-400 acres I had in Britain to pay off the bank to get them off. Well, I didn't pay them off to get them satisfied. And Greg Hardy was in this deal because he's this great fucking guy. He's negotiating this deal and helping, which I've been better off not having had him involved. He ends up with 100 acres of mine, and he negotiated a deal that they needed another $500,000 to keep me from losing everything. Greg negotiated this deal. But the other only had 2 weeks to come up with this money. And I'm such a Greg Hardy, this is a good guy. I'll buy that piece of ground from you. But I'm only going to give you this much money. Even though it's worth this much money. He set up the deal and goes on fucking pocket. Cost me over $100,000.
okay.
But he set the deal up. I only had 2 weeks. We're going to come up with millions of dollars in 2 weeks. With no one. He set me up to fail.
So he negotiated this deal directly with the bank for you to have whatever extension and come up with X amount, and then gave you X amount for that property, basically, right? I see. Okay.
So he fucked me.
Not this.
I'm still here.
I'm not saying this to make you mad, but
Schrodinger's wife, she wasn't really dead until the X-rayed the tank. That's true. Well, she kind of was because it was a missing bodies death case he was arrested on.
Explain to us that you two, meaning you and Dee, were in turmoil, and I'm being dramatic, but ran down the street to Greg's house, Greg, please save us, and that's what was essentially told to us before. So that makes a little more sense.
No, that's not good at all. He's like, he was.
Sake. Oh, why is YouTube gonna be like this today?
Okay. And how much would that have been worth at the time on the open market, do you think?
We should have been able to get about 6,000 or 7,000 an acre for it. Greg only gave 4.
I see. Okay. Yeah, that would accelerate to my mouth also.
Well, it did at the time, but you know what? I'm one that doesn't hold a grudge that much, but that looked at this way, it saved me all the other properties I had, so it wasn't costing to do business. But there is a sour taste in your mouth that, family wasn't there to help his sister like he was trying to come across. He was there to screw her in.
Yeah.
And she was very bitter over it too, but I convinced her to keep her mouth shut and just civil on it. We're here, we'll get through it.
Sometimes, unfortunately, there's a price to pay to reveal someone's true colors too. So you paid a hefty fine to reveal Greg's true shape.
A lot of hefty fines to do what's cost me. I think $20 million. But up until we bought that vegetable farm, there wasn't anything that we couldn't do. You feel this sense of invincibility. If you work hard and you go at it, there's nothing you can't do. I got married. I should not say much more, but give me an example. It's burned in my fucking brain forever. We're growing cabbage up there. 40-acre field of cabbage we send to Mexico. It's all hand-weeded. There's about 25 Mexicans in the crew that are supposed to help a while. This Dee sends them out to weed, and I want they're spraying. And while spraying, there's only 5 or 6 people that still weeding. And I called Dee, so we'll get the next thousand call. I'm like, Dee, there's 5 or 6 people out here in the cabbage weed. Are they supposed to be here? She's like, no, I sent the whole crew out there. And I said, so how many are supposed to be? She said, around 20, 25. I said, there's 5 people here. She says, I'll call and I'll go check. Yeah, there's 25 people punched in. You know, so the property is so big up that they all jump in their cars, go back to the laneway, and then 5 of them jump out, they drive around the backside of it, over the camp room, because we had housing up there. The driver only know the housing. So 5 people work, and 15 went home, and hanging out, the carrots, and I said, well, it's time to punch out there a little bit, but they go back this way, around here. Over, pick the flag up, come up to camp, and all punch out.
So who drew the short straws? Which five will work, as you say? The rotation, or how do you get
I
it
don't
done?
know how they did it, but that was unbelievable. It's okay. I don't see the rap that day. But you didn't watch everything they did. Their grown marijuana was back around. Their grown marijuana. It was all muck around Blackbeard. Their grown marijuana and all the ditches all over. And come to find out after the fact, after we lost it and sold it, that when they were taking the stuff into Myers and Kroger's, that we were hauling all their pot in the truck. That had distribution at Myers and Kroger's where they were selling it.
Oh. I fucking pay premium for this shitty product and I'm restreaming it and
They're taking it off the trucks. Oh wow.
So you get out of that financial trouble. Can you describe what your financial situation was like, April 1st, 2021? What was it like then?
We were struggling. I didn't think, we were struggling. We had been struggling since we Russell's. We had operating loans, and it's a challenge. The prices really were, and they finally got hooked up with the groups.
I had to sound you had to talk to them. You said the prices where they were maybe more.
I'm even on delay. Why the?
$7 a bushel for corn, $15 for beans. Well, corn was back down to 4. Beans were down to 9 or 8. So I mean,
probably with the same operating costs. Or,
we're operating at a loss.
Okay.
So it was tough, and it was hard because we're paying off a lot of that debt. We're still paying that debt.
If the farming is struggling that much, what was keeping you afloat?
Work harder, do more.
In which way? Can you describe that to me?
Instead of working 10 hours a day, you're working 18 to 20. You're farming more ground. You're trying to do more custom spraying.
Mm-hmm.
Time's being pushed to send the trucks out, more loads.
Okay.
But unbeknownst that, after the fact, we look back, the farming side wasn't losing money, it was making money. But the problem is when you've got 10 guys driving a truck, 5 of those guys are on the farm's payroll. The trucking company isn't paying farms back to the 5 guys on the payroll.
I see.
So it's pretty easy to make a trucking company look very profitable when half the employees are on the farm side. All the maintenance that are coming from the auto parts store or the trucking store is being billed to Warwick Farms. You just got $10,000 worth of parts for that truck. Great. It's all billed to Warwick Farms. Warwick Farms pays for it. The trucking company's using the truck free and clear, not paying for any parts, not paying for the drivers. The farms is paying the insurance.
Okay.
See where I'm going with this?
Mm-hmm.
And you want to buy a lake house unbeknownst to your husband, and you're trying to get it refinanced, so you give them the financials from the trucking company, which looks like you're making a lot of money, 30%. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, there's no overhead. Who's not making money? No overhead.
Right. Well, then you've got, different places. She tried to sell the trucking company in 2018, and announced me marking all the paperwork, and they're like,
Yeah, but I have been getting a good feed in. It's my feed out that has been the problem, but we haven't had this problem before. Normally, because I'm like 5 minutes behind, so it should be better.
No. The industry standard for profitability in trucking is somewhere like 5 to 6%, and you're making 30% deep. What's going on here?
Well,
how did this deal come up with wage law? Can you describe that to us a little bit?
The deal with late law? You guys, talking law enforcement, all these people after the fact, you guys crippled me. My ability to pay bills and stuff was crippled. After you guys come in, took phones, took systems out, did what you did. I mean, it was a struggle before. It was more challenging. Then you take into place fuel costs just doubled. The tire that used to cost me $800 now costs me $1,600. I can't pay that. How am I going to keep making the and all this stuff. You know, Todd sees this, he's dispatcher, and he knows all these guys that they on. They've been talking to him, hey Todd, what's going on for us? Why don't you guys do this? It's like, no, we're not leaving today. We're not leaving. Well, how are we buying them? Bring him down, Todd, we'll talk to him. They made us an offer. We paid off the trucks to death.
Yeah, I have the video really loud, so because you couldn't hear anything. If I took that off, so I would sound normal compared to them, you would hear this.
I had taken a 5-year non-compete.
So better me sounding like I'm standing in a hallway than you having to listen to that. Come on, for fuck's sake. Oh.
Maintenance and stuff for them. The rec facilities. All my employees are protected. They've all got jobs. Todd moved over. That was the deal. Did I want to do that? No. Was it a good deal? Yeah. I just eliminated a couple $1 million in debt on trucks. I had to give them non-compete for 5 years. Todd's got a job. I'm still getting rental income. I can make my house payment. I keep moving forward. 5 years and I'm going back. Todd and I will decide. Will every one of the guys come back if I ask them to? Yes, they will. And we have a good relationship with them. And they know there's not a single thing I'll ask them to do that I wouldn't do myself if I had time to do it.
Okay. I just want to ask you something to make sure I understand. So you agreed to a purchase price, and then you signed a contract saying, hey, I won't do any more trucking work, basically, and they're paying you X amount monthly for facility rental, essentially. Okay. And is that facility rental, is that also?
We haven't really had any financial information. We had that, was he a son-in-law who worked as kind of like the business manager and said that she was always taking out money and he could barely cover the payments. So we have had one testify that the credit cards were always, it was a card shuffle. And then they had large amounts of cash lying around, which was weird because they were constantly trying to cover every little hole with another credit card. And then we had her good friend. She was also talking about her having very expensive habits. But I believe that if they had this thing where, okay, we'll lease new equipment, then we'll sell it the next year because we need the newest, reddest tractor out there, or green if you're a John Deere person. It could be. It's highly likely that they had money problem. The kids has sued him for $100 million in a wrongful death lawsuit.
5-year contract?
No, that's
just the non-compete.
Just the non-compete. Just the facility rental is month to month. So if they choose to leave, they leave whenever they want. Okay.
And then is there a maintenance contract in place for you to maintain the vehicles, or they're just paying you?
They just pay us whatever it takes to keep it fixed.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Recently you submitted some documentation for an SBA loan. You know which one I'm talking about. Can you describe that to us?
We haven't heard why he was arrested. Normally we don't do the deep dives on this channel before. We don't go watch all the preliminary hearings. So we haven't heard about why he was arrested so far.
Which one?
Both. I don't know for you. There's two of them.
For each company, or
no? There's a $500,000 SBA loan that we took out. Oh, it was, I don't remember, that was first. We took that out to pay off a lot of the debts that was occurred. You know, I'll be there. We're going, so we keep going. And the second one we took out, it was a no-brainer. I mean, our operating loan at the time was, we got a $700,000, $800,000 operating loan. It was a 9% SBA loan. We took out, it was only 3%. And I paid back for 2 years, and after that's over 3-year payback. So
was that the EAD loan?
No. Well, I don't know. The SBA loan, that's one, I don't know what the hell.
See, this is stuff Mark can probably help.
Yeah, that's also not fair, Mark, to go over. But I mean, from the accounting side, the accountants, this is no brainer. We got this. You're going to pay 9% of the operating loan to these guys. And you get this loan here. for 3%, you're not paying anything for 2 years. This is a no-brainer.
I'm gonna lose it today. I might even be so mad today I'm gonna yell at Sue.
I'm sorry, who said that? The accountants. Oh, okay. I mean, Mark was one of them, and our other accountants we talked to, our tax ones and different ones. I mean, you run it by them, the numbers are gonna go, why would you not do this?
You and I can tell 9, 3 versus 9.
This is huge. I mean, this to the bottom cash flow. I mean, it's all about the cash flow. So it's a no-brainer. I mean, there's nothing shady, nothing illegal. The money's all went. I mean, every penny that you guys can come look and see where it's going. It's all went to pay bills on the farm. And you know, the conservative was put into place to protect and conserve these assets. I've been more to do that than anybody else has done. Every bill's been paid.
Yeah, I haven't spoken directly to the consumer about this. It's more or less the grapevine, but I think one of the concerns was a copy of his driver's license and passport was submitted with the application.
So we've got that on file. Every business has copies of their employees. My passports in the file, my licenses in the file, my restricted use licenses in the file. Every employee's license is in their file.
Where is that stuff stored?
It's all in the file cabinets. You guys went through them.
In the manual physical file cabinets? Okay. And again, these are questions that I'm not saying you did anything wrong, but we just asked based on what was
you guys should have.
I don't, yeah, not only understanding, I'm not accusing you of nothing.
No, it's just a basis old. That's why would you have got same procedure any place you might go to the medical office. The first thing you got to get is your driver's license and your bill card. Take a copy of the file. Yeah,
I'm not running $1 million business, and I have my stuff taken electronically. You know, I'm like, I have a Google Drive because I need it for this or that, so I understand completely. There was also some questions raised about a power of attorney. Dee had signed. Can you talk to us about that? When were those?
I have no more honey buns. My supply of honey buns has sadly been diminished.
He looks like he can't control his honey bun habit, you know, and his Susie cues.
So I'll have to try and get by without any honey buns, or else we'll figure it out.
Those negative and those signs, you know?
I don't remember the dates on our return. I think it was 12 or 14. I think, we've got our attorneys on lots of things. I mean, I've got them at the Farm Service Agency. I've got them for was Tom Norwood at the time, Matt Luck at the time, Rob Brisky at the time, Dee, myself. She had the same attorneys for me. I mean, it's the normal business operating paperwork we have.
Okay. Do you remember when or where those were signed specifically?
I know they were all notarized and signed witnessed. The same ones, the one farm service agency. I think Dan was in the office at the time. He notarized them, or Stephanie was a notary. Stephanie did it too.
Okay.
Or before we had notaries at our own office.
I'll just see if there's someone else carrying it where the signal might not be, but it's the same court signal, so.
She's in Jamaica anymore. I mean, like a kid crying wolf. You know, sometimes you feel like she's just using that as a crutch to. I got a migraine. I'm going back to the house to get away from you. But the pain level was unbearable. And I could tell when she was having one was bad because her face would start sagging a little bit. And her vision, she had blurred vision. She'd be talking to you. You know, if you're talking to someone where we have eye contact, she'd be talking and she'd be looking off over here because she couldn't see me.
And what was...
And her voice just started getting slurred a little bit. And that's when I knew it was bad.
Okay. And what was her behavior like when that was occurring? What would she do?
She would still try to be, she would try to fake it, be normal. But she just couldn't function. Her voice would be slurred and she just would not be acting right. I'm like, honey, you just need to lay down. So I just get her to lay down or she just to her to calm down.
Do I have to play it in one? Does that make it better? Just a YouTube problem? Fucking sake.
At first, when it was first going on, we'd get her a beer or some alcohol to thin her blood. That's what the theory was, it would help. And that helped at first, but after a while, it didn't help anymore. And she had some, the one doctor that she was going to had some pills that they had made. It was a combination of three different drugs. And she'd take them, and it was 4 migraines.
Okay.
And that helped. And the one pharmacy, there's only one pharmacy that was up by Chelsea that I guess they had to custom make them there. And that's where she got those, and that seemed to help the most.
Okay.
It would do it. I mean, she would still, some of the pills you take like the codeine, oxycodone or whatever, then she'd just be a zombie. But this here, she could still function, she'd talk, and it'd be more like the normal Dee. She'd just be slowed down version.
And aside from you said looking back, you could see things with the pills. Did you have any suspicion then, or see her taking pills that you thought were in excess?
I always thought, I don't take any pills, so I always thought it's an excess if she's taking anything. Why are you taking those? But I guess I'm just a freak that doesn't have, I mean, I don't drink and I don't smoke, so I'm already a freaking freak, because I don't drink alcohol, but.
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
I don't know, because I'm not to work, so, you know.
It's a good problem, man.
Well, yeah. I didn't spend any time with my first 4 kids, because all they did is work, so. I'm making enough things, leaving.
Initially, when this happened, and I don't want to misquote you, so please correct me, but if I'm saying something that you said, I would be correct me if I'm wrong, sincerely, okay? You guys made a statement about she's in Jamaica. And what made you think that?
She loved it there. She was fascinated with it down there. And what makes me think that I will find her. I will find her eventually. She's in Jamaica, or she's in Mexico. And the reason I say she's in Jamaica, and when we're down there, she was fascinated with it. She was always off with it. What would you call it? Person that's in charge of the resort that, gives you all the information, can get you anything you want while you're there, take you wherever. And she's always fascinated. When you're in Jamaica, where it's a resort, so you look up on the hill. There's all these mansions way up on the mountain hill. Who are those up there? I want to go up there. That's all the drug cartels. That's all the people that you don't want to go there. She's fascinated with that stuff. She's there.
Hooker?
Here too.
Who's talking about what hooker? I missed some hooker. Someone was talking about a hooker. Good morning, Sharon Loke. Today is the wrong day to come in because I have YouTube is shit with me today. And hey, got a key. This is why you don't ever talk to the police. He was watching how Stella got her group back. Oh, I thought they were talking about a hooker.
Why she can't do something, she's a pretty girl. She's going to go, she's going to do. She was on that cruise ship. It's about 3 years ago when she went with Stephanie Mills. She found somebody in that ship that hooked her up, or they hit it off like her and I did years ago. And they told each other some dreams of what they wanted to be or what they wanted to do. She's in Jamaica up in the mansions, or she's in Mexico, and some places you don't want to go to.
This person she hit it off with, can you describe that to me?
He was a guy on the boat. He was one of the directors or one of the top guys there. And it was either him or an associate because it was on the boat. He was very well off, very well to do. And she was hanging with them a lot on the boat. This is according to my brother. And just the things that Dee would tell me, we did this, and after she'd tell me, she'd be like, you can see it back in my oh shit, I should have told her that. I mean, they left Stephanie, which is the worker in the office, or Stephanie, and Dee went on the screws. I would go, I don't like boats, I won't want to vote. She was pissed. I'll show you I'm going to go anyway. So she took Stephanie, she didn't get me, and Stephanie took her dog. So then my brother went, and Amy and their daughter, and my sister went, and Miranda, because Miranda had cancer, that was the last trip before she passed away. So my brother then left the girls all with Dee and Stephanie for the night. Well, Stephanie and Dee put the girls in the room, put a movie in. They go out bar hopping all night, leave the kids in the room all by themselves on a boat with 8,000 fucking people in it. And I find this out after the fact. My brother says, I really don't want to say this to you, but I'm going to tell you because my daughter was left alone in the room when Dee and Stephanie went out bar hopping. And Angelina called me in the middle of the night, scared because no one was in the room with them. And my brother, they were furious because they left her in the room. Why didn't you just have her come back out of her room? Well, while they're out bar hopping that night, that's when she's with these guys on the ship.
And you're learning about this after the fact?
I learned this. I've got bits and pieces of this now for 4 years, 3 years. Okay. I'm trying to go back and cut it in my mind. And I'm thinking, okay, she's on this cruise ship. Like she's on the cruise ship, she bought $10,000 ring. She bought another $5,000 worth of jewelry here that I found the receipts in the mail. In Jamaica, she's buying jewelry. I find out after the fact I get home. She's fascinated with these places up on the hill, wanting to take off and go to town by herself. I'm like, no, you can't. Well, then she goes and that seminar guard with her where she'd go. So she's there. She's in Mexico and those places.
And I just want to be clear, specific with
that's my gut.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. So specific with the guy that you met on the cruise ship, that's something that you're thinking hindsight, or you have something to?
I don't have anything backed up other than what she's told me and different. It's all speculation.
Okay. And the reason why I asked,
leaving the kids in the room, my brother didn't back up. Amy,
I think I heard that before.
That'll all back up. But as far as anything else, is speculation. That's not her husband. That's my gut feeling. I mean, I know my wife.
Okay. You had this gut feeling that she's in Jamaica or Mexico, and can you describe how she would have gotten there without a passport or without crossing a border?
That just means you're a bad hooker, Kissima. So,
you don't need a passport to get to Mexico. You don't even get to Jamaica. If you guys think you got that one, you guys are really...
Obviously, that's the most common way to get there, right? So, so if you were her, how would you have gotten there without one? Can you describe that to me?
Well, she's going to get driven down to Florida. She's going to get in a boat. She's going to go over. You don't need a passport to get to Jamaica. You don't need $50. Mexico, you need $10. I seen that going back to Mexico. Our guys lost their paperwork. We took a computer down there. They had nothing. Went back, we got $10 on the plane. We're going.
Okay, when was that?
I can tell you, a few years ago, and when the United went down to Jamaica, was it 6 months before she went missing, or wasn't too long before that? Nothing's changed. I mean, the guy that works over there, Ozzy, the black guy that works over there.
Biomed, bodies, blah, blah, blah. Don't go back. It has just been bad audio body cam all day. There is nothing other than they were having financial problems, and he thought that she ran off because she wanted to be a hooker in Jamaica. That's what I got from everything.
He's from Jamaica. His brother's a detective down there. You know, it's all money. Just money. Anything you want. It's unbelievable.
Okay. Specifically on the money topic, where would she have gotten this money to do this? Because now it's been a long time to survive this money. Where she got it?
Mark's still telling you how much money she got. We're still puzzled on where she could have fallen in her house. She's got the money. Where she got it. I haven't got answers to that yet.
Okay. And you had previously made statements about money missing from the safe. Can you describe that to us?
I think there's money in the safe that's gone. Something.
How much money was in the safe?
There was approximately close to, not for sure, there's between $75,000 and $100,000 cash in the safe.
Okay. And can you describe how that money was collected or how it came to be?
It was, we sold different pieces of machinery, and, you know, over the time, you take your paycheck, you put it out the side, you put it in the safe, and it's just accumulated over years.
What do painters and smiths workers have in common? They both get paid for a good finish. Well, it depends if you get paid up front.
Okay. And then how much was missing when she left?
I don't remember for sure Kevin would know because we went down there and looked. And it seemed like there was only like 18 or 20,000. I mean, don't quote me. I'd have to ask Kevin because I think we looked or counted or did something at the time. It seemed like there's only 18 or 20,000 left.
When you say Kevin, you're referring to Greg, make sure I'm clear. Okay. And can you, if I was leaving forever, I would leave anything behind. Can you explain that?
I know. She knows that. I figured she left that because that was the amount of money that she figured I had been putting in there for my paychecks when I saved since forever. So I guess she got a little guilt that she left. I don't think she did. I don't understand.
Okay.
But, you know, like you said, what good is easy to take it all? But she left the one bag that the money that I put in. So
She ended up with a bank account, the TCF account.
Yeah, TNC.
That was, that she was using to fund money and then from investments and some other stuff.
Most of the money was from we had an auction, sold different pieces of machinery or stuff. And some guys paid cash. She put it in. She said it was her money, and I felt back on. Why did she say it was her money? She thought it was hers.
And a lot of those financial questions, we're awaiting a financial forensic audit, so a lot of those questions are going to be answered. We just don't have them right now, essentially. But specifically with cash, sometimes hard to show where from where.
Well, it's a card over years.
Yeah, a lot of it we're going to discover, but that's all there's so many to have in a house. So I was interested if you had a specific thing, like we sold this tractor is worth X or something large, but nothing like that comes to mind. Okay. Okay.
I mean, that might be a large amount of money for her. So it's not for, it wasn't for us. I mean, we got $100,000 in saved at all times. In order to, otherwise, Risky's got $1 million in savings. Also, the size of the volume of business.
How long did you get money like that for that amount of safe?
Oh, we've always had $50,000 to $100,000 in savings. Even when we're getting bankruptcy, I mean, that's your cash reserve. What are you going to do? You know, if everything goes down. Yeah, money for that.
Okay.
That's not money that you're going to use to make a house payment or these other payments. That's the money that you have to on the table, you know, to live on.
Why did you need a 50 to 100,000? Not to make a house payment. It's money you need to what? You keep those money in your bank account because your business is going under and you're shuffling credit cards to cover your debts. You were just talking about how you were getting into a financial hole because you had this overspending problem. And you just keep 50 to 100,000 around because you just need that money. There's no business transactions these days that's done in cash because both sides needs a paper trail. The only reason why you have cash is to do all those business transactions you don't need a paper trail for. It makes no sense.
Okay. Imagine if over your house you find out some cash that's away somewhere. You got your kids and you're not going to.
My wife doesn't trust me for money, so I didn't tell her.
You're my shoes.
I'm telling you, I mean, I can't remember. I wasn't kidding.
I can tell you I do not have $100,000.
Okay, you have to forgive me. We got to get a couple more parts here. I have to step out to use the restroom. Can I get you another water while I'm out?
No, I'm not going to use the restroom.
Okay. Do you guys know where that one is? I just actually go one at a time. Is that all right? There's another water in the corner to use. Sure.
There's water tank or something.
No, and he said they got a 9% operating loan. That's fine. But you need equity as well in your because you have rolling expenses. You can't just say, well, I get an operating loan and then I'll just take it out and put it in my safe. Well, we can't do that because the IRS would be knocking on our door and says, hey, there's $50,000 to $100,000 missing because we can see the money coming in but not going out and they're not in your bank account. Where's that money? That's a really, really easy way in Denmark to get nicked by the IRS is money coming in, not going out, but not being on your books. It's really easy to get in trouble that way.
Just briefly for some clarification, you're sitting on the far left and it's your back is toward towards the, is that a body camera or what kind of camera is that?
That's a camera mounted to the wall.
Okay, and who's sitting directly to your right?
That's my partner at the time, Detective Sergeant Scott Singleton.
Okay, and across the table from you, who's seated directly?
What the hell now? They lost connection. Is everything just fucked up today? What? What's going on? Are they having a new power outage? What happened? What happened? Did they go on lunch break? I'm live right now. If that's the question. Whoa. We're live. No, this is today. We watched yesterday in the afternoon. But this has been really filled with all kinds of hiccups today. And it's 10:30, not lunch. Morning break. But the screen just, I'm going to go back and see if the screen went black on this feed as well. Yeah, I don't know. It's the signal from the courtroom has been really bad, as you can see. And this is on playback, so I think they might have a problem.
Ask the court if we want to take a brief recess because we do have about another hour cam. So.
Okay. The record will so reflect, and why don't we take about a 10-minute recess?
So we are on break and is coming back for another hour of body cam. Oh, as we say on this channel, because nothing can put our spirit down. We are going to get back with more body cam. We will figure out, did she steal the money? Did they both steal money? Who was a hooker? Did they hook up in Jamaica? Who got on the cruise? Did you hear any words said? What if any snow was on the ground? All of that in the exciting second part of Body Cam AM, where we will hear things like credit card, tractor, and hear interesting questions like, so when you did that, will that solve the case? Let's hope they can hear in court because we cannot hear anything. Mandori complimented your haircut. What is... Oh. Well, thank you, Mandori, for noticing my haircut. I got it yesterday. It's a fresh fade, I think is what the kids call it in the streets. And finally, may get the answer. What songs were the band playing? Who, if any, tracked the cat? The body cam is not really adding anything for me, but I guess it's all for the rule of completion. This is just to show they had an interview with him, and they probably have something that'll come up and disprove what he was saying in that interview. And we know this from people who have been to other courtrooms, that audio is most times better in courtroom. It's because we are picking up audio that's coming through a shitty speaker and sent through a shitty. And as you could see, it seems like they have some connection problems with court as well. So as always, it's not the greatest, but we'll see what we can learn. Oh, I had a poll running. So far, what do you think? He done did it. 90%. She welded herself in the tank. 82 votes. That's not a lot of votes, but thank you all for engaging with the channel and making sure that YouTube might recommend it to someone. Because I can. Bad Inspire. Bad Inspire. Sometimes you should read that, but it's not Zach and it's not Brandon, so it can't be that bad. Oh, we got a weird Aussie in chat. Maybe she says something that is highly inappropriate. Nah, couldn't be. The Aussies are such a nice bunch of people. What? 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 Gabriel was driving the ambulance. Yes, Gabriel has been a busy bee. First of all, he freed Karen Reed, and now he's gonna free Kelsey Fitzsimmons. Oh, I don't know if anyone saw it, but Krusty Panties has really gone in on Kelsey Fitzsimmons because she's a man-beating whore who shouldn't have access to her kid. Woman who lost 50% of her kids to the system says what? Everyone say hello to Baker's little doogie friend. I can teach you how to doogie. I know that joke from another version. How do you get... No. I guess KP likes playing the villain. The only reason KP is against Kelsey Fitzsimmons is because Bradel is her lawyer. Bradel is also Aiden's lawyer, so everyone he talks to must be an asshole. How high is the likelihood that the real problem Kate Peters have is she didn't get a ride on Fritz Daddy, and that's her biggest regret in life. Is she really, really, really wanted a poke with the turtle? To me, it seems like an insane stalkerist ex-girlfriend who cannot get over that she's not getting the D anymore. That's it's turning insane. Lost 50% of her kids. That's terribly, particularly if she only had one kid. No good way to divide one kid. She had 4. That's 1 billion% chance. Yeah. I'm totally innocent, just delving into the etymology of archaic words as a literary exercise. Someone threw a thesaurus at Zach. No, Solomon, he only did it so the real mother would show herself. Oh, father. Jamie's not here. She's the one who is an expert in Bible studies. So that kid was never parted because the real mother showed that she was the real mother. So, but the way you solve that problem is the same way that Alexander solved the Gordian knot. You just chop it in half with a sword. Hey, Winnie's mom. We are on morning break. We have been listening to police interview. We couldn't hear a lot, but what we could hear was he's trying to blame her for stealing money from the business, and then he got... Am I wrong saying he kind of got mad that she wanted to sell the businesses? That's how... Maybe that's just how I feel. But I felt like he didn't like the idea of selling this business. And he talked about losing all of that money, but yesterday, didn't he say that they lost those 25 millions on a vegetable farm? Polymac Bible studies I'll teach. You'll have to be here Saturdays at noon. Bible studies on a budget with Jamie. Jamie will go over, her favorite story is the one about Lot and his daughters. I find that a little too South Carolinian in my opinion, but as we say in Denmark, needs teaches a naked woman to sew. So maybe that's why Jamie likes the story about Lot and his daughters. So you and Jamie can get 12 to 1 o'clock on Saturdays, Bible on a budget, where Jamie will educate you on the real Bible verses, because a lot of people think that King James Bible is the end-all, be-all, but Jamie has translated 95% of the Dead Sea Scrolls and written the original Aramaic text. So she is, I won't say she's a world-renowned scholar, but she is the world's leading expert in Bible studies. It won't let me super chat this. What's the difference between O and R? About 3 inches. I want to hear a good Danish joke. Give it your best shot. I'm not good at remembering jokes. It's one of my big problems. That's why I'm not a funny person. But was he a Theophany? You can have a fanny. Winsmart deleted my post. That shit was funny. I can't see you had anything deleted. This Sunday, Eddie the Eagle, followed by Cool Runnings in the Discord. Eddie the Eagle isn't as good as Cool Runnings, and there's no boobs in any of these movies. That tells you all you need to know. King James Bible, not the People's Bible, not God's Bible. No, but it's the reversed version that a lot of people use. I think we would get blocked on this channel if we did a Bible studies show. I haven't watched Cool Runnings in a long time. John Candy was a funny guy. I loved Uncle Buck. Was it that movie? I think that was the first one Macaulay Culkin did. Was it Macaulay Culkin? I mean, making it up. Uncle Buck was a good movie. Well, maybe if you didn't start at 10 p.m., I would sometimes. I have watched one movie with you, well, most of a movie. I watched Blood In, Blood Out. By the way, this Sunday at 4 p.m., I will be joining Common Sense Investigator for a show over on her channel at 4 p.m. this Sunday. I knew it. Uncle Buck was a good movie. What was that Christina Applegate movie? That the nanny is dead or something like that. The babysitter's dead. That was a funny movie as well. Maybe I remember it funnier than it was, but I just thought about it now. Oh, I saw she was on Mel. She was also on Massa this Sunday with me. I don't make the times. I make 0 rules anywhere but in my house. No, Schoenberg makes the rules. Don't tell mom the babysitter's dead. Okay, that's the one. Lauren is a very nice person. We've streamed together 2-3 times over on Massa's channel. It had Thor in it. He's too young to have been in that movie. Am I remembering it wrong? Wasn't that a pretty funny movie? I think that was a pretty fun movie. I don't know. And for anyone wondering, yes, their 10-minute break has now lasted 20 minutes. Adventures in Babysitting was Thor. You got her over 1,000 subs the other night. Yeah, well, she only needed like 60 or something like that. So I used my powers for good. And then the night shows went away right after that. So let's blame Lauren for that one. Oh my God. What am I going to talk about on X once the Olympics are over and arguing over the US women's hockey team and Canadian curling cheating are no longer in the news? You can go back and tell people they're fat and stupid. Baker should know all the Thor movies. Why should I know that? The only Thor movie you need to go watch is Valhalla. It's a Danish cartoon made on the basis of illustrated novel about how Thor goes to Middle Earth, that's Earth, and he and Loke stays with a farmer's family, and he tells them you can eat whatever because he can slaughter his goats, they can eat them, and in the morning he'll just swing Mjolnir over it and the goats will be fine and living again. But Loke, because he is a trickster, then makes Tjalfe, the kid of the farmer, break one of the, I think it's a thigh bone on one of the goats, to eat the marrow. And they were told, don't break any of the bones. That's the only thing you're not allowed to do, but Tjalfe really liked the marrow. And then to pay for his sins, he has to go to Valhalla and become a servant of Thor. His little sister, Rødskvad, then hides in the wagon that Thor uses to travel across the sky and goes with them to Valhalla, where they meet this Jette, that's a troll, but that's the evil beings in our mythology is Jette. That's what Loki, as you call him, he's an ice giant. No, he's a Jette. And it's not just it's not just ice giants. They also have fire giants. They live in Niflheim and Muspelheim, I think it is. But that's a side story. They go to Valhalla and they meet this Jette called Quark. Quark is a funny little thing that's roughly the same height as Crazy Amy and a little taller than Jessie. And then they have to go to Udgårdsloke to get something back. I can't remember what it is. And they have to do these tests out there. And it's a great cartoon. You should watch it. I tried to play a clip of it before, and then I got a copyright strike on that one because I played the trailer for a movie that you all should watch because it's a great show, especially if you have kids. It'll teach them about the Nordic mythology. Patty Russo replied to Marissa because Marissa wrote her an angry letter. I know that it's been glitchy today. There's a lot of media present and plugged in. We just changed some of the setup, hoping this has fixed the problem. Thank you, Marissa, for yelling at the intern. If you ever want to watch a free movie on YouTube, it's called Ronald the Barbarian, adults only but funny. That's a Danish one as well. If I think you might be able to find Valhalla on the YouTubes. Of course, I would never ever recommend anyone. Oh, you can buy it on YouTube Film. They made a shitty one on Netflix, I think, some years ago called Valhalla. Don't watch that. Watch the cartoon one instead. Bup, 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 bup. Bup, 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 bup. La 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 la. Bum, digga bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. This is Clark. He's the little fat troll. And this is Loke. And this is Chalfer. See, he's about to break the bone. This is Odin sitting in his seat so he can watch the entire world. This is Udgårds Loke, who is a giant whose midden they slept in. This is Thor when he arrives at the peasant family. This is a hut they built out in the woods. This is Thor when he is using his hammer. This is Thor, like every other redhead, being angry. But it's a great movie. You should all watch it. I know it's probably not available anywhere where you watch movies, but it is a funny little movie for your kids if they are into cartoons. But thank you. Ronald the Barbarian, I think that's a Danish one as well. Probably gonna get a copyright strike. Yeah. And that 10-minute break has now lasted 25 minutes. Yes, Valhalla from 1986 is the cartoon. I think it was on Netflix at some point, but I'm not sure. Available in all your Jotunheim outlet stores. Yes. Well, probably not in Jotunheim because that's where the giants live. See you later, Holly Mac. What's going on? Bum, bum, bum. Dum, dum, dum. Dum, dum, dum. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. Has anyone watched the original Dragon Ball cartoon? Holy crap, the 80s was so different. You can see his wiener. Marissa, you are a married woman. Stop wiener watching. That's gross, Marissa. No, it was a different time. A lot different than today. And again, remember, we have a Danish cartoon about a man who has a very long penis, which is a kid's cartoon because he uses for everything, putting out flowers, watering plants, whatever. And his girlfriend has very long, and she uses them for everything else. You don't want to go into the weird world that are Danish cartoons. We had something called Anna and Lotte, which was two annoying hand puppets. And they had a little doll. Yes, two dolls had a doll. Don't worry about it. That was called Geo. And at one point, they wanted to show where how babies were made. So they raped poor little Geo. On screen, kids TV in the 80s. If you could survive that, don't come at me, bro, with all of your, oh, I'm a special little snowflake. I watched a doll rape another doll. And that's how you make babies. That's why I haven't tried it, because I'm afraid that's how you make babies. Yes, like the House defendants, although the O'Keefe family's lawyer, he's called John Dillerman, because Diller means penis in Danish. Correction, I don't think Marissa is gross. Cartoon peens are gross. Nice try. We know what you meant. Marissa has an interesting film collection. Yeah. But we are also the country where on Sunday night at 8 o'clock we had a program about newly released people from prison. But one of them was a sugar data, and she ended up showing her tiplets at least 3 times during the show. She probably paid a lot for them, so maybe she didn't mind, but he was kind of weird. Dolls freak me out. The blinking eye ones, I don't trust them. Nude what? Nude tiplets. No, those dolls, especially because when kids leave them and they're doing this, you feel like they're planning something. It's kind of like cats when they sleep with half an eye open. I was taking care of Baby Baker one day. I was up there, and it was when he was down here, and I had to go look, and he was laying in his pram, snoring away because he was a little guy who had a stuffed nose, and he was just laying like this. That's so weird when kids sleep with open eyes. It freaks me out. Because luckily he was snoring, but because my daughter did the same. His mother, she would always be sleeping with eyes a little open, and she was very quiet when she slept. So I was always, nope, she is breathing. She is breathing. It's really weird. And the funny thing is you don't notice that you're sleeping with your eyes open because you're sleeping. I know they can't help it and it's nothing wrong with them or anything, but just weird. My daughter still sleeps with her eyes half open. Ew. But it's just because you come in there and then they're in bed like this. You think, oh, they're awake. And you talk to them and they're just, oh, they are an asshole. I used to take my finger and put it on by my kids' lips. They would pucker them, and I knew they were okay. I think we now understand why this trial will take 9 weeks. Yeah, because they're 10-minute break. Unless they lost connection again, like they did yesterday, maybe it's been a half an hour now. And then they're going to come back, and it's 11 o'clock. So they're going to come back, and then they're going to go to lunch. And there's an hour of camera. Then they're going to go to lunch, be back at 1:30. It's not good. I got a scratch cornea that way. Oh, yeah, cornea, that's the word. What happened this morning? What? Who? What? This morning we just watched an interrogation room where we couldn't hear anything. Sleeping when your baby sleeps and you cannot constantly watch them to make sure they are still alive is the most stressful part of being a parent. Yeah, that's especially when you're the first kid, you are, I better go check them. The second kid, I don't see any fires and I don't hear any ambulances. They're probably fine. This trial has had more body cam and interview videos than I've ever seen. Yeah, we've spent, how much, 5 hours now watching camera, and we still have an hour left. It's and we can't hear anything. That's the worst part. So this is one of those. Let's just start in the afternoon and get someone to make a written report. Why aren't you in court, JMR, and being our in-house court reporter? And you could just tell us, well, there was nothing on the tape. Imagine being the third kid. Lucky they remembered I was there at all. I was the third kid. Then my sister came, but she was my dad's little princess, so she got all the attention. All I hear is excuses. I'm just saying, if you can send me honey buns, yeah. No, not poor me. I get to hang out with all of you cool people, and you get to hang out with me, rambling about Danish cartoons, hookers, and honey buns. It's all yellow. And I didn't get up at 5. Well, I did get up at 5 this morning, but I didn't go up and started streaming. So, yeah. I'm the middle. We're the most resilient and dependable for a reason. I don't know. I was the troublemaker. I have an 8-year-older and a 4-year-older, and then my sister is 18 months younger. But I was the troublemaker because my older brother would get into trouble, so my middle brother wasn't allowed to do anything. And I said, fuck that, I'm going to do it anyway. And then I got beat up and stuff like that. I was kind of dumb. Baker asked for honey buns, and a month from now, a room full of rubber dolls. Yeah. It's going to be for my new toy line. Youngest is the best. Parents worn out from the rest, and they have more money to spend on you. Well, sadly, my parents never really had any money till all of us 4 kids got away from them. Then they started having a little money. I was the oldest. I set the path for others on what to get away with. Well, my oldest brother was. I can't tell because again I was 8 years younger and so I can't remember when. I can remember when he started bringing girls home and going out drinking and stuff like that. But he left. I think he moved out when I was 9, 10 years old. So I don't have that much knowledge of it because I wouldn't go drinking. I've been drinking with my oldest brother I've been drinking with once in my life, and that ended up with me getting yelled at by my mom because I got him and my other brother so drunk that they couldn't eat dinner. We were meeting. I've been down returning some batteries for my dad, and my brother called me and said, "Hey, let's go have some beers before we get dinner tonight at our parents." I said, "Yeah, sure thing." And him and my other brother came, and we went to this place called Under the Watch. That was kind of the okay place to be that back then. And before we left that place, my youngest brother went into a phone booth. Yes, it was that old that they had a phone booth. To call my mom and said, "Well, we're going to be a little bit late for dinner." And he was so drunk he couldn't really find the door in the phone booth. Then we went to go play pool at a nightclub that a friend of my oldest brother ran. And back then on Saturdays, they would open up the pool room in the daytime, and we were playing pool, and they came out and said, "Oh, by the way, we had." Remember when you could get all those hard candy shots? I don't know if it was a thing, but you put all different kind of hard candies into vodka, and it tasted like the hard candy. And they had a special the night before where you could get like 10 shots for $10 or something like that. And I can't remember how many my brother bought, but I think because they were saying they were selling out, so we got it at half the price of the normal. Yeah, 20 shots for $10 or something like that. And I think we probably ran through 30 to 40 shots or something like that. So finally, when we went home to eat, I entered first and I told my mom, I don't want any trouble for what happened. They did it to themselves. And she was like, what are you talking about? Then my oldest brother came in, went straight to the bathroom, started throwing up. My youngest brother went through the house. There was 2 stories and there was an entrance on both levels. Went through, up, went out the front door. Why? I don't know. We have 2 toilets. Out in the front, he then starts puking when his girlfriend is arriving to eat dinner with us. My mom wasn't that happy, and an hour later, I'm calling my friend saying, are you going anywhere tonight? Because I was supposed to go out drinking with my brothers, and they're not coming anywhere tonight. But we did play pool for a shot of a body shot. What do you call it? A tequila body, where you lick the titlets of the bartender and take the lemon, and my brother won that, and I still to this day don't think he has ever been back to that nightclub. So I don't know if he can still get to lick salt off the titlets of a bartender. Yes, you could do that in the 90s. I'm the 4th child of all girls. I was the child that if I was born first, my mom wouldn't have had any more kids. Well, then you came at the exact right time in the order of kids. In the US, it's Jolly Ranchers hard candy people like to put in booze. We have these well, it's not PC to call them what they were called back then, but we have some hard candy. Of course, it tastes like licorice, and there's like a salmiak powder inside it. So when you bite into it, it's called Turkish pepper. It's really strong when you bite into it, and dissolve them in vodka. It makes some really great shots. That got me drunk as all hell. Then we have something called King of Denmark. It's the red one that kind of tastes like licorice. Common denominator. Everything in Denmark tastes like licorice. Well, more of an anise flavor. They are good as well. But then they went on to make all the Smirnoff flavor. No. What's the Swedish vodka with all the flavors? And then that's when I stopped drinking vodka because I started having blackouts, so that wasn't a good thing. Bigger was ready for round 2 while his brother was still puking all over the place. As I said, I had a small drinking problem when I was younger. I was really good at drinking. So we ended up going to what we call well, it's kind of like a rec center that had a disco, where with 2 guys with a turntable and playing shitty music. And we went out there, and it was cool. I wasn't allowed to go to the nightclub. I probably was 14, 15 at the time, so my brothers had to vouch for me that I could come in and drink with them. And that's why I married my bartender, but then quickly realized I'd have to get my own drinks at home. Yeah, isn't that funny? I was married to a chef. I did a lot of cooking. Absolute vodka, yes, Absolute vodka is the one. I drink Sambuca. Sambuca is one of those things that you kind of do on a dare. because you have to, let's light it on fire and let's put in a coffee bean and it'll make it everything great. No, it won't. It'll still taste weird. I'm not a big fan of Sambuca, if you can't tell. But you can't call it what we called it back in the 90s. That would get us banned instantly on the interwebs, Panilla. Panilla has probably tried every flavor of Absolute. They had one, that was the first year after I got my divorce. My buddy I used to work with said, hey, you want to come over? We're having a Christmas party. We have these Christmas parties up till Christmas where you just get drunk and go out partying. I said, sure thing. And he came, picked me up, and he had like 5 bottles of that flavored vodka, and we were just taking shots and stuff like that. At some point, because they had one that tasted like strawberry, that was really good. But the label kind of looked like the normal Smirnoff label, and he had a bottle of warm Smirnoff. And we were drunk, so we didn't see it was the warm Smirnoff. And then it just took a shot of that warm Smirnoff hitting down in the tank. Adios. I had to go evacuate my bowels. That way, not that way. And good thing I'm not a quitter, so of course I went in and drank more. For some reason, I believe Broken Baker is the guy my dad always warned me about. Good for Broken Baker, I didn't make good decisions. I'm pretty sure I've never ever met you in real life. But the night's still young. Only time I had vodka is an Orange Crush. It was a thing when I started, not when I started drinking, but when I started legally drinking, a little before that. We would have Ice Bear, Fire Engine, and what was the last one? That's the green one. Something Sport. I can't remember what the name of that. But the Ice Bear was just Sprite and vodka and then some blue coloring. The Fire Engine was just red soda and vodka. You could put it and say, okay, make it with sirens. I think it was a double. And the green one was just green sports soda, and yeah. What is the legal age to drink there? If you are going to buy, you have to be 16 now. Back then, there wasn't really an age gap, but you couldn't get served in a nightclub before you were 18. Which is wrong, because I was served in a nightclub when I was 14. More than once. And if you want to buy like hard liquor, anything above wine APV, you have to be 18. But the normal drinking beginning age is somewhere around 14 in Denmark. Tequila is the worst thing on the planet. Tequila is that thing that comes around, knocks on your door and says, oh, you're having a party. Can I join? And because you had a party, you say, oh, yeah, tequila, that's always a great idea. And 5 minutes later, you are puking and you will have the worst hangover in the world. Never drink tequila. Tequila is foul. It tastes like sour milk. And no matter how much Iris tells me, oh, you just need to drink the right tequila. She brought me the right tequila. It tastes like sour milk. It's horrible. The smell alone makes me want to puke. That's young, 21 here. Well, we have a very different culture, and I think actually it's a good thing for like DUIs and stuff like that, because we can't get our driver's license till we're 17. So we know, back when I was a kid, it was 18. So we know how alcohol works before we get in a car. And I think you being, oh, we can drive everywhere, and then you start drinking years after you start driving might not make you understand how badly it influences your driving. So I actually think it's better to start drinking before you can start driving a car. Gin and orange juice was the token spirit when I grew up. I don't like gin. Gin tastes like licking a Christmas tree. Yes, I have tried it. Why? I'm kind of an idiot. Tequila slammers never did me any harm. Bad Dasser, tequila slammers is how most of the mothers in chat got pregnant. Tequila is nothing like sour milk. It is absolutely like sour milk. In Michigan, we used to go to Windsor, Canada as teens because the legal drinking age was 19 versus 21 in Michigan. Swedes make good gin. I've never... we had these craft gin places as well. And we have something called... well, it's kind of like a corporation where they try to help each other grow these small specialized farmers and stuff like that, where we have like a big food market every year on the city square and stuff like that. But we were going out to visit these places when I was in city council because, hey, they wanted us to give them more funds. So of course they didn't bribe us at all. But the welcoming drink was gin, and I was just, nope, thank you.
All right, are we ready to bring the jurors back in?
Yes, Your Honor. Well, we need Mr. Warner, Your Honor.
Oh, I'm sorry. Got ahead of myself.
No reason for the 15-minute break. Just, nah. I would be so pissed off.
The media is doing their best with this. They're doing their best. I mean, the most important people in this case that everybody seems to have forgotten in this room is the jury. So we're going to take a 15-minute break and both sides take a pregnant pause and think about the jury.
Yes, I said I know because I licked a Christmas tree because I'm a weirdo. That's medical equipment. That's not vodka. They could have had a baby with all the time we have spent.
All right, are we ready for the jury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes. Yeah. May be seated. All right, I apologize for the extended break. The reason for that is that during the break it came to my attention that there is still video footage on the internet of that depicts jurors. And that to me is unacceptable. It is becoming a disruption to these proceedings.
So he's cutting the feed?
The court has the ability and the authority to address these issues in a way that protects the jury and is consistent with making sure that MCR 8.115C3 is followed, which says that no one may photograph, record, broadcast, or live stream any juror or anyone called to court for jury service. At this point, I am going to order all members of the media who have access to this trial to remove all footage of day 1 and day 2 of the trial from their websites, from anywhere where it is viewed publicly. Because both of those days, we've just looked at video and confirmed, still have depictions of jurors. We are also at this point going to break for lunch, and during the extended break we will be checking in with our jurors in the presence of myself and the attorneys to determine where we stand with respect to this issue, and we will continue with the trial once we've completed that task. I appreciate the public's desire to know what is happening in this trial. But that cannot come at the expense of the integrity of this trial.
We have seen no
And I will do everything in my power to make sure that doesn't happen. Ms. Wise or Ms. Chartier, is there anything you want to address with respect to this issue on the record right now?
Not at this point, Your Honor.
No, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, court will be in recess until 1:30.
I go, what the hell's this?
And they came right on in?
Yeah, they came right around, yeah, you know. Uh-huh.
I'm sorry, sir, that wasn't clear.
I watched day 1 and I watched day 2. We never saw the jury on those. This must be from some other, because this is the official court feed we get, because the news station and Lawn and Crim are both using it. So that has continuously been directed at the witness stand, all the evidence. There was one point where we saw the side of the head of someone. We don't know who it was. We don't know if it was a juror. I'm not going to remove day 1 or day 2 because they're in my recollection, and for those of you who have been here day 1, day 2, have one in chat if you saw a juror, because I have seen no one I would recognize as a juror. And again, this is a bullshit rule, because I can send DMR to the courtroom right now and look at all the jurors. This, in my opinion, and again, I don't know nothing. I'm not a journalist. This is one of those things that, because we are so afraid of the media, we're going to hide and just put it on, oh, the jurors. If you could identify them, if they had said, oh, Janine Jameson from Wicketockatoo. Then I could go out and pressure her. But the defendant is looking at them every day. If anyone wants to go out and pressure them, you can just go to the court, and then you can go out and do something. I'm a fucking idiot in Denmark. I'm 8,000 miles away from Michigandia. I'm not going to go harass any jurors. I have seen no other camera feed than this one. I don't know if it's Lorna Krim or the other who carried it, but I've seen no other camera feed. No other camera feed at all. The camera hardly moves most of the time. No, we have seen the witness stand, and we have seen the evidence, and we have seen the opening statements. There was one guy who was sitting right corner of the feed where you could see about this much of his head. That's not showing the jury. I would take down those days to be safe. I didn't have 2 kids by being safe. I bet it's one of our lazy local channels that did it. The only one I've seen carrying it was the one I was on before the... what's the name? WTOL 11, and they have used the same feed.
How I had taken a 5-year non-compete.
No. They use the same.
Doing their best with this. They're doing their.
They use the exact same feed. There's only one pool camera in there. Or is it the same feed? Yeah, it is the same feed. So I don't know who, if any, have shown jurors. Oh, look at this. Well, I will compromise with you and make them hidden. Oh, look at Zach. I'm Mr. YouTube. I can get everyone to do what I want. I'm gonna report you to the YouTubes. Day 2. Boop. And where's day 1? Day 1. Boop. Hide that one. And day 2. Hidden. Day 1, part 2. Hidden. Day 1, part 1. Hidden. And day 2. Hidden. Happy now, Zach? Oh, I'm Zach. I know all about them. They're YouTube screeks. They are all. Look, I'm doing exactly what he wants, and then he turns into Sue. This is why I can't be nice to anyone anymore. I have been exceedingly nice this week. I even asked for Sue when she was out cheating on me with another YouTuber. I begged Sue to come back. I was on my knees. I was everywhere just to get Sue back. And what's the first thing she does when she comes back? Now I'm thanking Zach for guiding me to maybe potentially make sure I don't get in trouble. And he instantly goes wrong. This is why I can't have nice things. This is... Yeah. You remember seeing jurors when they were panning the other day. I'm 100% honest Maybe I was glitching out because it was one of those monotone Michiganders talking. I haven't noticed it. I haven't noticing. You thanked him by making fun of him. Maybe it's my accent that makes me sound a little sarcastic sometimes, but that's like making fun of my dyslexia because I can't write. Thank you, Sue, for pointing out my disabilities. It's a constant struggle, but you just told the world. Now the Hoodbooker crew is gonna make fun of my spelling mistakes tonight. Ain't that a kettle of fish? Hey, Stace, you came in right in time. They are taking an extended lunch break, and we don't know if there will be a pool feed after because apparently jurors has been shown on the pool feed, so the judge is a little bit miffed about that one. But nothing to do, but I'll keep an eye on it. If it comes back, we'll go back. If it doesn't come back, I don't want to start up a show just to sit here and waffle on and wallow in my self-pity because of the horrendous people who watches the show. I'm talking to only 2 of you. The rest of you are wonderful people, but you all know who I'm talking about. But I can't say it because then they will just harass me even more. What was that? Eulogio. That you I don't know. Did he say what time they came back? 1:30, I believe he said. I am even wonderfuler. Don't tell Sue, she will make fun of you. Sue, how many times can I love you where you won't love me back? I'm beginning to feel like the princess and the swineherder, where every time I come and say, oh, hello, and I let you give me a kiss, and you just treat me like crabiola. And then I come back the next day, and again, crabiola. And in the end, I'm standing, my dad has thrown me out, I'm standing outside in the rain, and you slammed the door on my head. You just took me for the kisses. Six, 7 USA. Are they playing the Curlings? Well, it's 5:30. I'm gonna make some dinner. I'll keep an eye on it. Please join the Discordo if you don't do it already. I'll put a link in the chit chat where I will update if we're coming back or if we're not coming back. This is where you will find most likely get the updates. But I'm not gonna be here before 1:30 if there's some shit stuff going on. Because then I'll just have to sit here and do nothing. And I've done that a lot today. But thank you all so much for being here. And just remember, you don't all have to be YouTubers. Some of you could have been.
Jay Boogie, you should have been an actor. You are a natural, my friend. Fun fact, I have been offered a part on what is now Outer Banks, and I should have taken it way back then. I just couldn't because they were doing the filming in the Carolinas and whatever. But God, that became a big Netflix show, and I kick myself every day for that. But I did a little bit of acting here and there.
Take the chance when you get it. Take a chance on me, honey, can't you see? I'm the one you need. Take a chance on
I'm Jimmy. How y'all doing?
I
know English is your second language, but you don't.
It's my third, but I'm still better at it than you. You are.
The most important people
take a chance on
in
me.
this case that everybody seems to have forgotten in this room is the jury. So we're going to take a 15-minute break and both sides take a pregnant pause and think